I guess it's not. I know. I guess so. I'm here to give you guys an anime. Anime elaboration. I'm just so used to saying it. Excuse me. I'm here to give you guys a manga review, which is basically this manga right here. I know I promised you guys I would, and this is the name of the manga. Show you right here. See if you guys can see all that and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, this is called the Elf Sisters. Can't wait for the night. To be honest with you, I have to say, I have to personally definitely say, this manga is very interesting to read. There's not going to be really a whole lot to basically really talk about. It's really is not. It's quite simple from the start and stuff like that, and just basically what it basically feels to me, and just I'm not so sure if anybody else has really pretty much read this manga already or not. The author is is the story is from Kang or a kind of Hashimazu. I do believe I pronounce it way. I think I pronounce it wrong or something like that. It's spelled K-I. Actually, no, Kei, and its last name is the last name is spelled Hozumi. I don't know if this is a guy or this is a girl. I really do not know. I don't know. I don't know if this is. I'm assuming it's probably a guy. I'm probably assuming this, but I'll be very shocked if it's probably a girl. The art who made the manga, his name is Boking. It's spelled Bcoca. um, that's who made the art and stuff like that. The story is based on structure, based on offer and stuff like that. This has also been published by um, Seven Seals. Seven Seals. You guys don't know Seven Seals. Seven Seals host a lot of kind of like slice of life, basically basically different genres and stuff like that. Especially ecchi manga also as well too, and basically stuff like that. And basically now this is also has a warning, protection advisory, explicit content. It's mature, and basically this manga basically cost me like uh, right about $15. So it's like right around there. But I purchased it over at Books a Million and stuff like that. So I've been kind of interested. Basically, I had to grab this because I was kind of like, wow, this seems very interesting. I happen to like the art style. Because if you guys don't know me, I happen to like etching manga and stuff like that. Basically anything etching, but not really basically really a whole lot. But it's one of my favorite genres. But yeah. Anyway, so let's get started with this with this manga review. So I have to personally definitely what person would definitely would say this manga is basically very interesting. It has its own different tropes and stuff like that. I really definitely do enjoy, and it definitely is a very interesting first summer read. So basically, it's all about this boy. His name is Hashibin. I definitely do that. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Pronounce that wrong. I'm not really very good at pronouncing names. I do apologize for that. Anyway, so the main protagonist is basically that he is basically it's a fairy. Now, I just want people to really basically really understand here is that he's not really a typical fairy. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. As I was saying before, he's not really a typical fairy that he has wings and basically, like fairy dust or something like that, or basically like a little wand, something like that, like you see from Disney. I think her name is Pixie or Daisy or something like that. I think her name is Pixie or something. I don't know. She's basically just basically one of the that does the little things and stuff like that. Like when you see from a Disney movie or something like that, you basically just sees that and stuff like that. She has been very profound and basically among Disney and stuff like that. I can't pronounce her name. I still can't pronounce her name. Um, Actually, I can't remember her name. I kind of want personally definitely say this manga is basically it's completely different than any other fairy spaces out there. Because usually you basically see fairies they definitely do definitely do have wings and they dress kind of a little funny or something like that. Dress kind of a little funny, basically in a particular way. Because usually fairies are different different kind of different spectrums because we usually see fairies that usually has wings or they're basically kind of like a little bit kind of like maybe like kind of humans or basically kind of like aliens or basically and basically other different ways. But when it comes to the base of this manga, it's basically completely different completely different. So basically, what the MC is basically supposed to do, he's supposed to prank. He's supposed to prank on people or prank on whoever it is that he really wants to prank. And so that's what he's supposed to do. That's his powers. Now, pranking is not really considered as just basically pranking on a cop or pranking on your parents or pranking on your grandparents or your dog or whoever it is or just do normal pranks that you basically just see basically on YouTube. I think pranking is basically in a way basically how he does it is basically in a way he basically does just basically like nice things and stuff like that. That's basically what he does and stuff like that. And people do know about the fairies and stuff like that. They definitely do know because basically definitely but basically in the beginning of this manga book it's basically that he pranked on a girl basically doing her homework for her because she had a difficult time basically doing it and stuff like that. Maybe it's that she didn't really have much time to basically really do that and stuff like that. Would that be really nice if someone came in your apartment and did your homework for you, and then you wouldn't have to worry about doing your homework and stuff like that. I kind of want to say here is basically the pranking mechanisms and stuff like that. Basically, for the MC, is basically to do for him is basically for him to do is basically that he has to be very careful about how he does his pranking business and stuff like that. And he has to make sure he's not really personally that he's not being seen by doing these pranks and stuff like that. It's very important for him to personally basically do that also as well too. But you also have to understand that there's some limits that the pranking that he is allowed to do, or maybe that he's not really personally that he's really not allowed to do. So basically, so if he were to basically get caught basically doing pranks as for lustful desires, I will get into that here in just a few minutes or so. And it's basically that he is not personally not allowed to do that because his pranking is not basically used just basically for that way, basically for that way. But if you put it basically in other words, is that he's supposed to use his pranking of, or I would say his magic is basically just basically to help others. That's what he basically supposed to do. But if he were to basically get caught doing his pranking just for lustful desires, that can be a really bad thing. And plus, there's a very good possibility he could be stripped of his powers because basically what he's basically actually doing because he comes from the fairy family or something like that. I really do not know. And so that's basically what he's supposed to do. But however, basically in other words, basically in this case, basically here with these girls, basically right here, you probably won't be able to see all of them or anything like that, or see all of them or anything like that. Basically, she is one of the main female protagonists. I definitely, her name is Hashino-san, or Hashino-san. I can't pronounce her name really all that much. She is personally is basically that she wants to be the next elf, the next queen, the next elf queen or something like that. That's personally what she really wants to be. And basically what he basically runs into and he finds out personally basically finds out that he runs into her and he happens to know that he was doing lustful desires or let's say sexual content or something like that. Basically what he did to her is basically turned her basically into an elf. So basically what that basically means is that she wants lustful desires to be put onto her, which basically means that what personally basically means is that she needs that because she wants to become the next elf queen, the next elf queen. That's what she really wants to be. She wants to be the queen of the elves. That's what she really wants because that's what her desires. Basically, what she definitely does want. If she doesn't really becomes the next elf queen, then I don't know really much to say basically about that. I don't know. I don't know how I would personally definitely will feel if she was definitely is going to become the next elf queen or basically or not. Now there's four other girls basically in this manga, which basically means there's four sisters. You have one girl has black hair, one girl has gray hair, and the other girl has like pink hair, which is basically her. right here. She is the main female protagonist, and she is one of the. I wouldn't say the very first girl that he pranked or something like that. I think it was basically was definitely her. And the other sister is kind of right around there. You probably don't see her, but she's personally one of my favorites. Personally, one of my favorites. She sings like she's real shy and stuff like that. She really actually is. But when you have basically her, she's kind of greedy. She's kind of greedy. She wants more. That's basically what she really definitely wants. And basically with this girl right here, she's kind of like easygoing. She doesn't really mind or anything like that, but she doesn't really mind really all that much. But then when you also have her right here, she just goes all in. She doesn't really care. She goes all in. But then when you also have the girl with the black hair and stuff like that, basically with her, she's personally one of my favorites. She's very charming. She's very beautiful. The reason why I like her a lot because she's very shy. She's not really basically in that kind of nature. Basically, what she definitely do want and stuff like that. But when she gets more of that desire, basically what she wants, I definitely do think that she will basically like that a lot more. I kind of want to say here is that this manga is definitely as interesting. It really does. I feel that the story doesn't kind of fit kind of right to me and stuff like that. And I wonder if I wonder if there's are limitations for him to do these prankings based on these girls and stuff like that. But the question is, which one of these sisters will basically become the next elf queen or something like that? I'm assuming that she probably is going to become the next elf queen. I really do not know. I don't know if that's really basically going to be the case. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a main antagonist basically is going to be based in this manga. That's one thing I'm really basically kind of curious about. Now, just give it a little FYI. I'll just let you guys know that the sisters, their parents pretty much passed away. Pretty much they're basically are not around basically anymore. Because usually when you read different mangas or anime and stuff like that, usually their families are personally are not around. If you look at for the MC's perspective, his family is basically still around. But keep also in mind is that I think this is very important. Basically, is that if his family were to basically really know that he's doing this, his family would not be okay with this because there's a very good, likely, very strong, and very good possibility that he could lose his powers or he could be stripped of his powers because he's not supposed to do these lustful desires because this is not something that he's supposed to do. If his family were to find out, however, if that does ever happen, we just have to wait for us to definitely see it. And I want to give a little spoiler let's spoiler basis mine. I'm really kind of curious. There's a person that's basically calling out the MC. I don't know who this person really actually is. I'm not sure. I don't think it's any of these sisters, but there must be somebody else probably must be calling him. And I'm wondering if there's going to be more girls basically be involved in this manga also too, because I don't think it's not just going to be the sisters. I definitely do think there's going to be more girls going to basically be involved in this manga. I don't think it's not going to be just the sisters. I definitely should think there's going to be basically much more than meets the eye. That's basically what feels to me. And I'm also curious about basically Anna also as well too. I forgot to mention about her. She is basically, I think that she is basically is the current queen of the elves and stuff like that. I definitely do think so. She's the eldest basically in the family. And the reason why I say that basically I definitely say that excuse me, basically definitely say about her because she's pretty much is the leader of the sisters because she's pretty much taking care of them, and she doesn't mind the MC basically doing the lustful desires based on these girls and stuff like that. So with that basically means that she gave him permission to do that. But the question is, who is going to become the next elf queen? We really do not know. I'm not 100% sure who is going to become the next elf queen. I really do not know. I'm really kind of curious about that also as well too, and I'm really kind of curious about where the direction of this manga is going to go to also as well too. The story seems like it can be kind of a little confusing, but I definitely do think it's worth the read. It really actually is. I do want to continue reading it. I don't know if this manga will get anime. I would love to see it get anime basically down the road. I think might have a very good potential, but it does have some mix of romance also well too, especially fan service and actually mobile space and stuff like that. Like I said, this is something I definitely like, and something I personally definitely like. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like this manga? Do you want to buy it? I would recommend it. Basically, buying it. I would recommend maybe buying it from off of Books a Million, or you can buy it from Amazon as well too. I happen to love Books a Million because Books a Million is one of my favorite stores I love to go to buy these kind of different stuff because it's something that it interests me, and I really definitely do. I love Books a Millions, I really do, and I just want to say thank you to Books a Millions for uh, they didn't send me this or anything like that, but person just want to say thank you to them because I purchased this and I want to continue purchasing more manga books like this and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this manga video. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys like this manga? Do you guys want to buy it? I recommend that you should buy it if that's up to you, if that's what you want to do. But yeah, anyways, since I know I'll see you guys there. Take care. Hope it gets on one day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please like one. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. And please leave a comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope it gets on one day. And I'll see you guys there. Take care. Bye.